Nick Gallo, OKC Thunder. Mark, you obviously can't control the way that they hit free throws down the stretch, but what did you think about the way that you guys executed in the last 5 minutes or so just to keep this within one or two possessions?
Yeah, I mean, obviously wasn't our best game in the floor game, but I thought we gave ourselves a chance. We were able to put some game pressure on them. They made a couple timely shots. I thought they handled the pressure pretty well. They made free throws, so credit them on how they closed it. But I thought we pushed some of the right buttons out there on the court to give ourselves every chance to try to win. It's hard to win a game when you're at a deficit of 10 or 12 points that late.
Yeah, and that deficit kind of started right off the bat. Was there anything you noticed in the first few minutes of this one that you guys were able to get to later in the game defensively, or what was different during the flow of the game tonight? Yeah,
I just thought we didn't have our best punch, in terms of our physical output, mental. That certainly wasn't the best we can play. So, we obviously have to get back to that. That hasn't been who we are to this point in the season. We've strung together a good amount of games now where we've brought that. But I didn't think we were bad, but I just didn't think it was our best. And obviously against a team that good, you got to have your best if you want to win the game.
I think maybe all of Jay Will's assists went to Chet. Just your thoughts on kind of the interplay between those two guys when you had them on the floor together.
Yeah, we haven't taken much of a look at that. Some of it was Jay Will missed time in the preseason and in the early part of the season, but that needs to be an option for us. It's something we wanted to make sure we took a look at some point, and tonight was a good opportunity to do it. That was the plan coming in, and I thought it looked pretty good. I thought those guys played pretty well together. Seeing Chet play kind of the non-center spot in the offense was interesting. I don't think it neutralized him any, so that was encouraging, and that's something obviously we can go to if we want to.
Mark, it felt like Philly really got separation in the middle of that third toward the beginning of that fourth. What did you see there that maybe went wrong?
Yeah, I thought, they delivered. They made some plays. They made some shots. I thought we had a couple self-inflicted mistakes, kind of unforced errors on our part. We were getting aggressive. We were trapping. I was just trying to, shake the game up a little bit. It wasn't feeling right, So when that happens, I try to look for every turn over every rock to try to turn the game, and our execution of that was just okay. So, like I said, our floor game wasn't our best tonight. Something we can learn from, obviously. We obviously have to play better, though.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of talked about the free throws, but I'm curious, you always talk about stacking possessions, but how difficult is it to stack possessions defensively when, a guy like Maxey or a guy like Embiid can go 23 seconds into the shot clock and get that whistle at the end of the clock?
Well, that's what they do. They're good at it, and some of that's on us. Like we can't foul them. I think on a lot of those plays, if we had unlimited challenges and challenged a lot of those plays, I think they would have upheld them. With the disparity, I just wish some of the contact that was called on that end of the floor was called on the other end, if that's the way it's going to get called. But we also have to be better defensively. Like, we can't put the referee in a situation where they can give him a call, and I thought we did that tonight.
Mark, until pretty late, you had a little flurry of baskets. I think you were shooting 35 or 36% for the second half. Anything about the shots you were getting, or was it more what they were taking away?
Well, they're obviously a good defense that you got to work against to get great shots. I thought on a lot of possessions we didn't work together the way that we needed to get the best possible shot, and it showed up a little bit in the field goal percentage. I also thought we missed a couple good ones that we would normally hit, but like I said, it probably wasn't our best game on either end of the floor, but something we can learn from, hopefully.
And then Chet got really hot there in the third quarter. Obviously, he comes out of the game, but then when he comes back, it's a pretty long time until he gets a shot. Anything that he wasn't doing or you guys weren't doing there that maybe could have kept him more involved?
I don't know. I'd probably have to look at that. I mean, I sub him early so that we can get him back in, because obviously we stagger him a lot of nights, so that's the reason for that. And a lot of his shots kind of come out of the flow, and we usually do a pretty good job of finding him. And I thought we did a decent job of that tonight. I thought he was pretty involved, but our offense left something to be desired all the way around. When the ball moves and we get great shots, you don't feel the need to push an individual player's button, but I don't think we got the best shots tonight in the floor game. Obviously, we got it going in the fourth quarter.
Mark, tonight, Tyrese Maxey had some early foul trouble. He ends up picking up his fourth. There's around 9 minutes left in the third. I know it's kind of risky to go at that, and you can kind of get stagnant in your offense, but how strongly did you guys consider really testing him on that, getting his last couple fouls?
We try to do that. That it is a little bit stagnates things, and against a smart veteran team, when you do that, they'll try to bump them out of actions, which they did a couple times. So they'll recognize what you're doing, and then before you can get them into the action, they'll put somebody else on the ball, or they'll switch the matchups, which they do a good job of. And it's a slippery slope when you start trying to make it more about targeting than running good offense. And tonight, to be honest with you, I thought if we ran better offense, we would have had a better game.
Mark, thinking back to the beginning of the fourth, that stretch to start the fourth, when you're having stretches like that without Shea, just how much do you miss a guy like Dub, especially with a defense like that is pretty heavy in the gap, and just the way they schemed?
We miss Dub. We miss all of our players when they're hurt or when they're out. But at the end of the day, we've got enough. We've got good players. We've got a lot of guys that can step up, and we've made a habit of that over time. So we had everything we needed tonight. From a personnel standpoint, to give ourselves a good chance to win. I just thought we had to play better, but this has been a team that's learned from these types of experiences over time, and that'll be our challenge. We got to learn from this one.
Anybody else? Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Yep.